at the public hearing on the alleged NNPC $49.8 billion unremitted funds, the Director General of Budget, Ministry of Finance, responded to questions raised from the Senate Committee on Finance.
I thank you for this opportunity to come and update the committee on what work has been done so far in respect of the issue of the original idea of a $49.8 billion that was unremitted. The chairman probably, when we met this committee last time, we sought an adjournment because we still needed some way to go. But what I can say, just by way of update, is that you recall that the Ministry of Finance, obviously, as you said, we are major stakeholders in this. We want to ensure that all monies that are due to the Federation and to the Nigerian people in particular are remitted to the appropriate accounts. So it was in that spirit that we took the initiative to convene all the parties in order to have a reconciliation opportunity so that we can have the central bank was there, kindly provided us with details of their own issue they were raising. Similarly, the Ministry of Petroleum Resources / NNPC and EPR equally were present, and they made their own submissions. As a result of this effort led by the Ministry of Finance to try and resolve the issue, we were able to satisfactorily among all ourselves come up with a figure that was not $49.8 billion, but the figure had come down to about $10.8 billion. And that figure has been on the table since that time in terms of further efforts to complete the reconciliation. We also asked our colleagues on the Ministry of Petroleum Resources side and NNPC to provide us with as much data as possible, the information that is needed to clear or to help us to understand the balance of the $10.8 billion that everybody agreed on that occasion to be an outstanding amount. The last consultation we had, not a formal meeting, but basically we were trying to review what documents they had at that point to see whether we can convene a full meeting of everybody again. The permanent secretary was at that time representing the Ministry of Petroleum Resources. And the outcome of that effort was basically an update indicating that they have gone very far in their reconciliation with PPPRA. As you know, the PPPRA is the entity that is responsible for managing the importation of fuel, petroleum products. And in their dealings with NNPC, of course, they are in the same industry. Certain documents were required for importation and similar papers. So the update that we got from the Ministry of Petroleum Resources and NNPC during our last effort, a few days ago, was basically that they were nearly there. They would need a few more days to be able to bring everything together. So we actually deliberated on that, which led to our own thinking that we should request the indulgence again of the chairman and this distinguished committee to give us another 1 week, but that we'll finish it, including working during the weekend that is approaching, because we believe that from the indication they have given to us, they almost have all the documents and information available. I want to end, Mr. Chairman, by saying that reconciliation under the aegis of the FAC is an ongoing thing on a monthly basis. Every time FAC is holding, or even before it holds, they have a technical session through which some of these issues are raised, and various commissioners of finance from the various states, as well as people on the federal side, ask questions, they raise issues, and eventually they come up with some final numbers. The point I should make, just to round up, is that the money that is outstanding has been talked about, so it's an ongoing process. We are at the stage now of looking for documentation to verify those pieces of documents, to make sure that when we finalize the report and come back to this committee and indeed to all Nigerians, we should be looking at figures that we can actually ourselves be comfortable with. So that, in a nutshell, is a summary of where things stand. From $49.8 billion originally mentioned to $10.8 billion, and subsequently, as I said, efforts to try to understand the balance of that 10.8, and we believe we should be able to finish this very soon. Thank you, Excellency Chair.
Also, at the hearing, the Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Engineer Andrew Okogu, had an interview with journalists speaking on the issues raised at the session.
We are at the point of concluding the reconciliation. We have been reconciling with PPPRA on the subsidy documentation on PMS and kerosene. And you were told, the PPRA testified to that. We are at the point of rounding up, and that is the major chunk of the entire amount in question. As soon as that is done, we will reconcile, sign off, and then make a formal presentation to the committee.
There's a new allegation by the CBN governor of 20. It's now been $20 billion US. What do you have to say?
Where is it coming from?
Gentlemen, you heard the chairman very well, and the issues that were raised are not new at all. The issues that were raised, you see, we came out in details because we don't have anything to hide, and we gave a detailed breakdown of the so-called 49 billion, and we came out clearly to state the various streams that are associated with what he was talking about. Now, we also made it clear that NPDC, if we had anything to hide, we wouldn't have made it clear that NPDC was part of the stream. Because NPDC, which is NNPC's upstream operation, it is NNPC's upstream, is a limited liability company registered on the CAMA to do upstream business just like any other independent company. Now, if you are in your business, would you take your gross revenue and pass it on? What we simply said was to account for the streams that the CBN governor erroneously captured. Now, let me make this point very clearly. CBN is a banking outfit, so I really understand why they would not understand some petroleum engineering issues, and they are not also an auditing outfit. Now, what they're trying to do is to audit, and I had some statements made here that they do not have this document, they don't have that document. They are not the auditors. We have certified bodies and arms of agencies that are charged with the responsibility of auditing. They are banking, right? So what he said was not really new. We said clearly that we stated an amount that went to NPDC, and that amount was the gross lifting. But there are other streams that go back to government in terms of taxes, just like any other business player. So we have royalties, we have petroleum profit tax, and so on and so forth. Now, these are subjects of other detailed discussions and investigations, and they are open. We have, we give access to Auditor General, we give access to Accountant General, we give access to agencies that have business to do with auditing our own business. And Federation accounts too. We render these reports, as you are told, on monthly basis. And these are issues that are subjects of reconciliation on monthly basis. So really, for issues like this to come to the public glare again, becomes worrisome, that we throw away numbers, we throw away allegations that at the end of the day will clarify, but then the damage would have been done.
Thank you, sir.